Welcome to ZimCanIT, and in this video we're going to break down how you can pass the CompTIA A+ certification in 2022. And here's proof of my certification.
Well, great news, my CompTIA A+ certification came in through the mail today. Here's the envelope. Of course, as much as I trust you guys, you won't see my address. However, you will get to see the certification once it's opened up. So let's check it out. So now that I've opened up the envelope, let's take a look at what we find inside. Neatly packaged inside, we find the certificate. So of course you can see the name behind ZimCanIT. It's Joshua Masirira, that's who I am. Then we have, if you zoom in a little bit, October the 31st, 2021. That's the date that I passed the Core 2 exam for the A+ certification. As we all know, the A+ cert comprises of two portions, two parts, or two exams. The Core 1, 1001, and the Core 2, 1002 examination. So that's what we have there. This can be thrown to the side. And then, to top it all off, you are given a card. See if we can zoom in on that. There we go. So there you go. Officially A+ certified. And it's important to know that there is an expiration date for your CompTIA examination. So I'm not quite sure, I'll have to do a little bit of research, but I'm pretty certain that you'll have to renew your certification by either doing some sort of CPD, continual professional development certifications, or resitting an exam with whatever new material they add into the curriculum. However, I'll double check on that later on. Nothing at the back of the card. But yeah, there we go. So this is what comes with your A+ certification. Once you pass it, a lovely certification and a card to go along with it.
Now, the A+ certification is an industry standard certification that is usually used as the gatekeeper to entry-level IT roles, such as a junior systems administrator, junior network administrator, or first-line IT support help desk engineer. It truly depends upon what pathway you want to forge for yourself within the world of IT. For example, within the cybersecurity pathway that CompTIA offers, you would start off with the A+ cert, then the network plus cert, then security plus cert, and so on and so forth, up until you have a portfolio of certifications that showcase knowledge across a wide range of topics within IT at an entry level, as well as a much more advanced level as you progress further on. Now, the A+ certification itself covers a wide range of topics within IT, from the configuration of operating systems such as Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, Linux, as well as covering topics such as basic network configuration, security principles, as well as hardware and software installation, and much more. When it comes to the exam, I took it in sequential order, meaning I took the Core 1 exam first and then the Core 2 exam next, and it took me a totality of 5 months to complete the certification. Now, the time it takes you to complete the certification truly depends upon your commitment, the time that you have spared, during the day to dedicate towards your studies, as well as whether or not you work outside of your studies towards the A+ certification. And because I was working as well as studying, it took me a bit longer than it would for someone who has no job, for example, and is just studying the certification. As much as they can, really. You can dedicate as much time as you can. Now, as for the study material that I used, we're going to hop onto the screen now and cover the materials that I used, as well as the methods that I used and found to be useful for myself, with the aim of helping you to pick and choose what's going to work for you. With a bit of trial and error, I'm sure you're going to create your own workflow when it comes to studying towards the A+ exam. And let's get going.
When it comes to study materials, I made use of Professor Messer's playlists for both the Core 1 and Core 2 exams within the A+ certification. The Core 1 playlist by Professor Messer is found on YouTube, and so too is the Core 2 playlist, video playlist, and it consists of 74 videos for the Core 1 1001 exam, and then the Core 2 1002 video playlist series consists of 63 videos. They're for a combined 9 million views across both courses or both playlists,
This is an indication that Professor Messer has helped hundreds, if not thousands of people pass the A+ certification. And I used his playlists as a way of getting an overview of the exam objectives within the A+ certification, but not necessarily to delve into deep detail. When it came to further solidifying my understanding of the A+ exam objectives, I made use of Mike Myers' video series on Udemy. As we can see, it's priced at £15.99 for the Core 1 and his Core 2 video series. His Core 2 video series is a 15-hour series of on-demand videos, whereas his Core 1 consists of 17.5 hours of on-demand video. And that's simply because the syllabus for Core 1 is slightly larger than for Core 2. Some say that the Core 2 exam is more difficult than the Core 1 exam, but from personal experience, I found it to be the other way around. The Core 2 exam, which focuses more so on operating systems, was a lot easier for me, but you'll find out for yourself as you begin your studies. The beautiful thing about the fact that I had two sources of video/audio input, we could say, for the A+ certification is that Mike seems to teach the Core 2 exam in a way that I found to be much easier to understand compared to Professor Messer. However, you'll find that having two separate teachers in this instance for the same certification will allow you to have a different understanding of each topic, because they will approach it slightly differently, although they both cover all the exam objectives required to pass the A+ certification. I did also make use of a study guide by John Buhagiar, and I bought the Kindle book of this here study guide, of which offers review questions at the end of each chapter, meaning I could solidify my understanding as soon as I'd started to read the study guide, because for me, taking detailed notes was not the priority. It was more so to understand the concepts of each exam objective, so as to not get lost in the nitty-gritty details, because the study guide is very detailed compared to the video series offered by Mike Myers or Professor Messer. Bear in mind again that the video series on Udemy by Mike Myers on both the Core 2 and Core 1 exam are to be paid for. It's not free, unlike Professor Messer's YouTube series. And so too is the study guide. It's relatively inexpensive, £24.70, which is about, let's say, $30 for those of you who are in the States. Lastly, to prepare myself for the exam after a period of about 1 month just listening to the various video and audio courses by both Mike Myers and Professor Messer, I made use of an exam bank by Dion Training Solutions. Now, Jason Dion is the man you see here to the right hand side of the screen, and he's the one who created this here course. It's not necessarily a course, but it's an exam bank, meaning you have 2 practice tests, full lifetime access to these tests, and if you average about 85% on these here tests, then you are ready for the A+ exam, whether it be the Core 1 or the Core 2. Now, what you have in front of you is the 221,001 exam banks offered by Dion Training Solutions, Jason Dion. And I also bought his Core 2 exam bank questions as well at a discounted price. So as you can see, again, another discount is being run on this course on the Udemy platform. So I would say that these 3 sources, these 4 sources, Professor Messer's video series, Mike Myers' video series, the study guide, and your question bank by Dion Training Solutions, is really all you need. In fact, it might be going overboard, because I've heard of people taking listening to Professor Messer's playlists on both the Core 1 and Core 2 exams and sitting their exam and passing straight away. It truly depends on whether or not you have previous experience within IT, how quick of a learner you are, your ability to memorize and grasp concepts in detail. So best of luck on your studies, and when you do pass your certification, your A+ certification, just drop it in the comment below, because I love to see you guys progress. Until the next time, peace.